Okay, is this recording? Is this recording? Sorry, I look like a mess. I'm really, really sorry. So anyway, what's going on, everybody? I know it's been a long ass time. I know about a month ago, I was posting on my page on Instagram that my video is gonna be coming soon, and I think that was like a month. Yeah, that was like a month ago. So sorry for the wait. Um, it's really because I have so much stuff going on, work, life, all the above. But we're gonna get into that. So I'm making this video because I want to do like a story, like my life story. I guess you could say that. I'm not really good at talking on camera and things like that. So let's get into it. Um, let's go back to where it all started. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Devin. Uh, I am. You can call me Dev for short. It doesn't matter. I'm from LA, born and raised. 29, about to be 30 next month. I'm about to be 30, bitch. I'm about to be 30. I'm old as shit. With Gemini season, you know what I'm saying? Gemini, Sun, Aquarius, Moon, Pisces, Rising. Yeah. That's if you're into that. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I'm not professional when it comes to being a content creator. So I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. Please bear with me. Um, Also a disclaimer. If I'm all over the place, please bear with me. I'm trying to get to the point and all that stuff. So anyway, so let's get into it. So if you're new here, if you already know, then you know. My mother passed away back in 2015, which is November 1st, which is the day after Halloween, and she died of a kidney failure. She was on dialysis for so many years, and like I said, she has kidney problems and health problems, things like that, and it was really unfortunate. And it still hurt. It still hits me to this day. Just thinking about it, and then even like the time about this Mother's Day, which is yesterday, it still like hits me to this day because I really miss her so much. Even though we have our ups and downs and things like that, like we have, when it comes to our relationship, you know, like you get me. But I probably had to talk about that like from another video or whatever. If I have enough chance to do that, like about the relationship between me and my mother. So from that point on, so when my mom passed away, I was really devastated. It was a lot to process the fact that she's no longer here. And then like fast forward to like 2016, that's when I moved in with my uncle. You know, it was going good at one point, but then it just getting out of hand, because I was just not here for it because here's the thing. You know, when I was living with my uncle and my cousins, things was going good. Even though I didn't like his ways, I'm talking about my uncle. Like I didn't like his ways. You know, I didn't like the fact that he just really strict, really toxic, and really religious. On top of that, and being controlling and things like that. I understand that you helping me out and helping your kids out as well, like as a parent and as a guardian for me, like trying to take care of me. I appreciate that. But at the same time, I'm not your child. I'm not your son. Like, let's be clear. Cause I'm an adult, like I understand that you do that to your kid that are young and they don't know, you know. But even then, it's just like you cannot do that, because you cannot do that to your own child, let alone doing that to your nephew. your nephew. So anyway, the reason why I said that because there are some other times. These damn birds. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. What I'm trying to say is that when I was living with him and all that stuff, things were going good, but then it just getting out of hand. Like I said, he was always controlling and just like saying the most toxic shit about everything pretty much. Like, are you really that pressed about certain things that really just bothers you? If it really bothers you, then don't even bother to talk about it. Like perfect example when he mentioned about like seeing like gay scenes, like a simple gay kiss on TV, and you get really that pressed about it. Like, if you're straight and you're supposed to be a man of God, you wouldn't be all this like turn it like I don't know what to say. It was just like really okay, and then like even like some other times like when it was just a mess, you know, like all this. Even like when he asked me for my you know, like what's my account balance and all that stuff. Like I have to show it to him every time I get paid and stuff. Like I'm all. It's bad enough I had to like split my paycheck to you, and then had to give you extra $150 on top of that. It's really irritating. Like I said, it's almost like he just like I said he's really controlling and just treat me like a fucking kid. Like it's not cool at all. And it's really sad, you know. Like I understand, like I'm supposed to live under his roof and go by. I don't know. It was just a lot because it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? It's just really a lot because like I'm supposed to have my own place by now. Like I'm supposed to have my life together. I'm supposed to be happy and all that stuff. And at that time when I was living with him, yeah, I was having a good time, but I was like really unhappy. Like I still feeling like that to this day. Like I still feel unhappy about my current situation, but we're gonna talk about that later. But anyway, back what I was saying though, when I was living with him, it was just a lot. You know, all like I said, all this controlling and all this being so religious and things like that, and then on top of that, I also didn't like how just like going to church every Sunday. And even at the time when I was working, when I had to work on Sundays, like he keep on like forcing me to have different days. I like had to talk to my supervisor about like, oh, is there another like available off days and all. It's just like, bro, I have to work on Sunday. I'm sorry. And even like the time when I have to work on Sunday, it's like by the time I get home late at night, it'd be like around like 10:30 or so, like 10:30 at night, because I get off at 9:30 p.m. because I work in swing shift. So anyway, by the time I get home, it'd be like 11, not 11:30. It was like 10:30, almost 11 p.m. And by the time I'm there, of course, he had to pull out the Bible. We had to go through the scriptures and things like that, And I'm just like really irritated, but I have to do it because it's his house. I have to obey his rules. Like, it's really irritating. And there are some other times too that I really wanted to say how I really feel about his so-called opinions, about his beliefs, because I was not here for it because and I hate to say it, like even at the time when all this stuff happened about this, like who's going to be the president between Hillary Clinton and Trump. And you already know me. I'm not here for Trump. I really don't. I don't give a fuck about him. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't. I really don't. So what I'm trying to say is that time when all that stuff happened, I immediately voted for Hillary. Immediately because like I said, I'm not here for Trump. So when I done my situation, when I done my voting, mind you, this is my first time voting. You know, because I was like, I had no choice but to vote for Hillary. You know. So anyway, so when I got back home after voting and all that stuff, and my uncle was asking me like, did you vote? I said, yeah, I did vote. I voted for Hillary. And he was saying like, well, I don't usually, vote like for other things, but I had to vote for Trump. I'm just like, excuse me? I was thinking he was joking. Honestly, truly. I really thought he was fucking joking. Cause my heart dropped, like my jaw dropped, but I had to like hurry up and like okay. But deep inside I was just like, bro, what the fuck? Cause I'm like, you so you don't really hear this man talk bad shit. And I'm not saying the Democrats are pure and perfect either, but I'm saying the Republicans. I hate bringing this shit up because I really hate. I don't really get into like politics like that because it's already stressful. It's really stressful to even get involved with that type of stuff. But anyway, making a long story short, when he was just saying to me that he voted for Trump because, and then he always had to bring God into it. And then when it all falls down, who became the president? Of course, Trump became the president, which is very unfortunate. And of course, my uncle was celebrated, talk about, oh, thank the Lord, and this is that. It meant to be, like I said, it had to bring God into it. I'm just like, in my head, I was just like, God has nothing to do with this. I'm like, Trump ain't shit. I really want to go off and tell my uncle how I really feel about Trump, but I had to be like, I had no choice but just pretend to be like, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. That's all I could do. That's all I could do. Because if I would like speak how I really feel, I would have been moved out. I would have been kicked out like long ago. So I was just like, I had no choice but to agree with what he is saying, even though he's be saying the most ignorant shit. Like even like the time when he kept on talking about how gay people are very, always had to like compare gay people to like predators and all that stuff, which is really dumb to me. It was really dumb because I'm just like, you don't even know them like that. Like, why are you so pressed about gay people? I don't understand. I just don't understand. But but yeah, it was just a headache. It was just a mess. And then but like I said, it was a lot. And then fast forward to like August of 2021, that's when I finally decided that it was time to move out of his house. So so a week before all this happened, when I was telling my uncle that I wanted to move out, um, I had a phone call from my job, and this around the time I'm still working at the airport, and this is around the time, you know, when all this stuff happened about losing contract back in like June, like at the end of June 2021, and I had to transfer to like a different terminal, and I started swing, and I've always been working swing shift ever since, and then around in August, and that's when the shift bid happened, and they called me and they were saying that you know the only thing is available for you is the night shift. And when they told me that, I was just like, oh Lord, here we fucking go. I was like, I cannot do this. So I had no choice but just to say, like, you know what, I'll just do the night shift. And at that time, I already got my storage, set up and everything, and I already got my luggage, and I put it in my in my uncle's closet and stuff, like in the hallway, and at that time, this is so crazy because when I got my luggage and stuff, because I was trying to organize my stuff anyway, because I have all my clothes and stuff in a big bag, like a big, like a, I guess you could say like a laundry bag, like a big laundry bag. I put all of that in there along with my other stuff. And something tell me to like, okay, like if I plan on trying to move out, I'm gonna put it in a luggage. I'm gonna get like two of them. So that's what I did. And and when I got home, and he was sitting, my uncle was sitting in the excuse me, my uncle was sitting in a excuse me, sitting on the couch in the living room watching TV. And my cousins are in their room. They were, I think they were playing video games, or they were just like talking or whatever. So my uncle saw me coming in, with the with my luggage and stuff, and he assuming that I wanted to move out right now. I was just telling him like, no, but I really want to go off and say like it's none of your business, like because I was already annoyed because I've been living with him for a while at the time. Because like I said, I moved in with him from 2016 to like 2021. That's like 5 years. So anyway, but anyway, back to what I'm saying about the stuff happening about my job, because they was telling me that I'm working. I'm going to be start working night shift and starting next week. So I was like, okay, fine. Which I really hate working night shift. So then that's when excuse me. I'm sorry. I guess I'm a little sick or whatever, but please bear with me. Um, so what else happened? So so the time when I did it, when I got home, they was like happy and all that stuff, because I guess they were like on break or whatever. My cousins, they were on break. Um, what else happened? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to think. What else happened? So I'm sorry. I'm very. This is unprofessional. Okay. So when I got home, I wanted to tell them today, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna tell them that I wanted to move out. So instead I was gonna do it the next day to ask. I mean, to tell them that I'm moving out. So, which I did. So so he was like, "Oh, how am I doing?" I said, "I'm doing good and stuff." And I just left it at that. And I would just mind my business and going by my phone and watching movies and stuff. And we ate and all that stuff and whatever. And so the next day, that's when you know, like the earliest thing in the morning, it was like around like 7, like almost 8, like between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, and my cousins were already asleep. They still sleep, and my uncle was sleeping too. So I went to his room, and I was just like, hey. So, and I opened the door, and I told that about the news that I have to work night shift starting next week and all that stuff. And then I also was telling him that I'm going to move out today. When I was about to say that, I was like hella nervous. Like I was hella nervous. Like I was froze up a little bit, but I had to I had to put it out there. I was like, fuck it, just say it. So I was like, okay. So when I told him that I'm moving out today, and he was just like wow, Devin, like wow. And when he said that, I was just like, oh shit. And here's the thing. It's another thing I forgot to mention. He loves to talk a lot. I mean, like for hours, for hours for like the same damn thing. He always talk about his story, about him becoming, how he, used to be in the military, be in the Navy, all that stuff. Like he keep bringing up the same stuff over and over, and about the Bible, about the scripture, and a lot of things for hours. Like he could talk a lot of things for hours, And I'm just like, "Er- we it's time, you know. So when I told him that I'm going to move out, and of course he had to talk for hours about life, about other things, and had to compare his life to mine. I don't want to hear all that. I just want to move out. I just want to move out. Simple. So anyway, when he said all that, and then when he asking questions like, "Oh, who are you living with? Who are you going to move to?" Like, it's just like you're so nosy. So anyway, so I told him that I'm going to move in with my coworker, because at that time I told my coworker that about my situation. I even told her that I lost my mom. I had to deal with my uncle, at the time and all that stuff. And, I told her all that, but I didn't tell her about my sexuality because it's really none of her business, honestly, truly. Because if I tell her, like, straight up, like, hey, I'm bisexual, I have a feeling she's going to feel some type of way, because you already know a lot of people nowadays, especially women, they don't fuck with bisexual men, and that's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. It's really unfortunate, but that's just how it is. So anyway, back what I was saying though about the situation with me and my uncle. So when I told him, um, about I want to move out today, and he just got like, he was like, got that surprised but not surprised look in his face, because he was like, I kind of knew that you wanted to move out and stuff because I even asked you this and that and this and that. And then he, like I said, he just go hours and hours and hours, and all I could just say is like, yeah, okay, yeah, I understand, yes, because it's like I can't just like express how I feel about certain things. Like, it's just like I said, he's really toxic. He's really controlling and very religious. Like very ignorant, and it's sad. So anyway, make a long story short, so I packed my stuff, and then he had the nerve to be this petty to go knock on my cousin's door and wake them up and tell them that I'm gonna move, that I'm moving out. Fucking petty, really petty. So I was just like, okay. I was like, you couldn't just do that. Like, I don't know. But anyway, so wake my cousins up, and even my older cousin too. And so I moved out and all that stuff. Before I even got out the door, I was trying to get the trash like that was in the closet, and I put it like in the trash can in the kitchen, because I have like a few trash in there, like in the closet, and most of it is like junk mail and all that stuff. So I had to like rip it up and all that stuff, and I put it in the trash can in the kitchen at the time. And like I had a handful of them, and so when I was about to get out the door, and my uncle was like heading to the kitchen, and my cousins were in the living room, and they was like, I'm gonna miss you and this and that, bye, and all that stuff. So like I said, my uncle was in the kitchen. I'm thinking he was trying to get something to eat or whatever, because like I said, I was about to get out the door. So then when I was about to get out the door with my luggage and everything, and then this is so fucking funny, but it was not funny when it happened, because it was just like really crazy. Tell me why my uncle sit up here, pull out a fucking tie out of the trash can, and then he gonna get mad about it. I was just like, did this nigga really gonna do that? Like, are you serious? So I was just like, okay, he's really, really petty, and he's really toxic as shit, because he gonna sit up there and talk about, see, oh, what is this? I was like, what? I'm like, that's my tie. I'm like, you gave me that tie. Talk about, yeah, that's right. That's the time I gave it to you. Oh, you being so ungrateful. I'm like, cause like I said, I had a handful of them. I wasn't paying attention because it was like wrapped all in there. Cause like I said, it was like trash. I didn't put this stuff in the trash on purpose. It was not like my intention. So I'm just like, it was like crazy. It was crazy. I was like, at this point, I had to get out. I have to get out. I had to get out, and I feel so sorry for my cousins. They had to witness that shit because I was not here for this. I was not here for the bullshit. I really don't. Cause like I said, I can't put up with his shit. I cannot. Like I'm too old to be dealing with this. I mean, yeah, of course, at the time when I moved out, I was like 27 going on 28, but still it was just like it was just too much. Like I would have been moved out. But like I said, at the time when I was living with him, I had to, like I said, split half of my paycheck to him, and then I had to give him extra $150, and then also I had to give him money for his birthday, my cousin's birthday, and then of course the Father's Day, I had to give him money for that, along with the gift and Christmas. Like what? It was just a headache, and then I had to do some other things. I had to do stuff for him, like paying some certain things like snacks and all that other stuff. I had to it's like I had to give, and it's like when it comes to my birthday, it's very little. It's very fucking little. And I understand that he doesn't have a job, and I know everybody struggles. I understand. But it's just like you gonna give me like $20. I'm talking about my uncle. Like my uncle just give me like what, $20, $30, and I gave you like $100, $150, and I gave my little cousins, like $50, $75, and I gave my oldest cousin like 150, because I'm being a giver, but yet you, my uncle, give me like 20, $30, barely $50, and then give me like you know a cologne that I really don't need. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love cologne. I love cologne. I really do. But I prefer cash. I prefer money. Okay. Gift card is fine too. Sometimes he give me a gift card too, but I prefer just cash. Just cash. That's it. That's it. That's all. And I'm not asking much like, oh, give me $1,000 and stuff because I gave you this and this and that. I'm just saying. But anyway, so when I finally moved out, it was a relief. I was just waving by at them and moved on. So when I got to the storage place and I packed everything up and all that stuff, it was such a relief. Even though I'm going to miss them, but I'm not going to miss my uncle though, because the way he treated me, and he treated his kids too. But like I said, it was just a headache living with him. Even though I'm going to miss my cousins though, because we be playing video games and we be talking about movies and stuff like that and stuff. But anyway, so when I got to the storage place and packed all my stuff in there, and that's when I called my coworker at the time, and even though she stopped working, I think she quit or got fired. This is like a couple years ago, whatever, and she was working at the other job, like close to her house at the time. And when I called her, I'm gonna name her. I'm gonna call her Lisa. I'm not gonna say her real name. So I called Lisa, right? And I was just like, hello. And she would just no, she was answering saying hello, and I was like, hey, what's up? I will just let you know that I moved out. And she was just like, oh, okay, that's good, that's good. So about hopefully it works out for you and all that stuff, blah 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 blah. And by the time I was about to say something, I was choked up and I was crying while I was just putting my stuff in the storage room and all that. Like I was just crying and crying and crying and crying. And Lisa was saying like, it's like you're gonna be fine, it's gonna be good and all that stuff. You're gonna be okay. You got this, man. You got this. So I'm thinking she really gonna have my back. Because like I said, I've been with her for a while. I'm saying like meeting her at my job, you know, even though she quit and or got fired or whatever the case may be, and and we keep in contact still because I still, we exchange numbers and all that stuff. So anyway, so I was like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna be okay. I was just like crying nonstop, and then I just hung up. And then about like a couple minutes later, that's when Lisa called me back, and she was like, you know what? She was just telling me like, whew, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to. I was planning on trying to make like a 20 to 30 minute video, but it's over 30 minutes now. But okay, I'm gonna get there. So, um, what else happened? So Lisa called me back, and she was saying like, okay, like, hey, I'll tell you what, because what happened is I was telling her that I'm going to the motel for a couple of days, and then I'm just gonna find an apartment and all that stuff. And at that time, I was saving a lot of money in my bank account and stuff. I was saving a lot of money. It took a while, but I saved a lot of money. So anyway, so Lisa was saying, I'll tell you what, you can move in with me like after a couple of days of in the motel or hotel, whatever it is, and then you can move in with me. I said, okay, cool, that's fine. I was here for it. And she even asked me like, how much did I pay, the rent for my uncle, like when I was living with my uncle. I said pretty much like almost 11, almost $1,200, because like I said, I was splitting half of my paycheck to him, and then I had to give him an extra $150, and then of course like paying the extra stuff on the side for his birthday, Father's Day, all that stuff. Which honestly, he's not my dad, because I'm like, I don't know why I had to give him extra money for Father's Day. I mean, I understand it's like a father figure, I get it, but it's just like, you're not my dad. But anyway, that's another conversation. So anyway, so I told her about the amount of money I paid her. I mean, I gave him for a month for like the amount of rent or whatever. So anyway, she was like, okay, I'll tell you what. When you move in with me, um, you can give me like, 550. So I was like, okay, cool, 550 a month, bet. And she was saying like, it's a Wi-Fi, it's a free, it's a Wi-Fi, all that stuff included. So she got everything in the house and all that stuff. So that's why I was like, okay. So I'm assuming that her apartment is good, all good. So when I got in the motel, I was still like, trying to clear my head. And what else happened? And then I had to call off on my work on my job because I needed like an extra day to like process all the things that happened, and then I had to like start doing the night shift too at the time. So I needed an extra rest, and then I had to get me something to eat to enjoy myself, my little me time. So I was like, okay, cool. And then what else happened? And then about like a couple of days later, that's when I put some of my stuff in the girl's house, you know. And like I said, I started doing like the night shift and all that stuff, and it was really hectic and all that stuff. Cause I was kind of like I was started like swing shift at one point, but then it was just like at the last minute it was just like, okay, night shift. So anyway, make the long story short, so when I moved in with her, Lisa, I was looking at her house. I'm just like, what the hell? What the hell? I didn't say that out loud, but in my head, I'm just like looking around. I'm like, what the hell? Because mind you, this is not really her apartment. This is her mom's apartment. So I'm just like, okay. Because I remember she told me that this is her mom's apartment, and because her mom is in, I think she said she lived or visit in Texas or a different state. It's not here in Cali. So I was like, okay. So I was like, it's not her apartment. So it's basically her mom's apartment. So anyway, it was a mess. So anyway, I was just like, what the fuck? So in my head, I'm like, do I really have to go back to my uncle's house? Because I really don't want to do that and be like, but I had to write this shit out because this is a mess. So what else happened? So, I got all my, well, not all of them because I got the rest of my stuff in the storage. But I basically got like my blankets, and I also bought like an air mattress and like some pillows. I already got I brought my own pillows, and I brought my own blanket and all that stuff. So this is like in this is like in when was it? This was like in September when I first moved in with her, and it was a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was really a lot because so when I moved in with her, things were going a bit, good, even though her house is a mess because she has like three cats, bad as hell. Bad. I mean, bad as hell. One is a mother, and the other two are her kids. Got like, I think one. Yeah, one is a boy, one is a girl. They cute. They cute, but they bad as hell. Cause I was sure about how like some other nights when I was just like chilling and stuff, and I was like, trying to get some sleep, and all of a sudden I woke up. I feel like a warmth on my leg. It was a fucking cat piss. One of the cats pissed on the fucking air mattress, and then pissed on my leg. But good thing I was wearing my sweatpants on, because if I had like short pants, it's a wrap. But I was still pissed about it because I'm just like, what the fuck? I'm like, these cats are bad. Like, anyway. So anyway, I'm like, look, I need to get something so they could just like leave my air mattress alone and my blankets and stuff. Like, you have no rights to be get on my stuff and then just like piss on it like it's nothing, bitch. So anyway, it was a headache, and then there were some times too, like when I got in the bathroom, her stuff is a messy as hell too, because she got a whole bunch of fucking eyelashes everywhere, a whole bunch of like body wash everywhere, and the one that's not used and the one that's used, and then she got some bra on, got bra all over the floor, just bunch of trash. I'm just like, this girl, and mind you, she's a Pisces. She's a Pisces, child. She's a Pisces. It's just something about these Pisces women. Not all, but most of them, I don't know. But anyway, so I've been living with her for like almost 2 months, and at that time, when I was used to working at the graveyard and stuff, I just couldn't do it, so I had to transfer to a different terminal, and I started working swing shift, which is my favorite shift, honestly, because I can't do no night shift, and I cannot do no morning shift because the morning shift is too early because you got to start working at 5 in the morning, and then you get out, like, you clock out at 1:30, and then for the night shift you have to start at 9:30 to like 5. No, you clock in at 9 p.m. and then you gotta clock out at 5:30 in the morning. I ain't got time for that. So anyway, back to what I was saying though. So what else happened? I'm trying to think. So like I said, I was living with Lisa for like almost 2 months, and then when I was working at the different terminal, things were going good, and I was planning on wanting to start my vacation, and starting from October to like November, and and I got approved. I got approved for going on vacation and stuff, which is like a month vacation, which I was surprised. I was like, oh shit, I'll take it. I really need a break. So anyway, during that time when I was living with Lisa, I was still trying to find apartments and all that stuff, and I couldn't find any apartment. And at that time, my credit score was like not great, but it's not good either. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. It was just like somewhere in the middle, because it's like my credit score at the time, it was like 590 something, almost like 600. And most of these apartments, they going up for like 650 and up or 640 and up. You know how people be so picky in Cali. But anyway, back to what I was saying though. Like I said, I got approved on vacation and stuff, and that's when I was like, okay, let me have a good time because I even went to go see JoJo for the first time. My girl JoJo. I went to see. It was a Try Not to Think About It tour, and that was in October, and I had a fucking blast, baby. Cause you already know. If you know, you know. Cause I love JoJo so much. Like that's my girl. Um, so yeah, I had a great time and all that stuff. And what else happened? And then this one day, I this is kind of like Halloween time. So what else happened? So Lisa was saying like let's go to Vegas. So this is when it gets crazy right here. So So I was like, okay, let's go, like let's go, because I mean, I still got enough time to to enjoy my vacation, So I was like, okay, cool. So she drives, we got our little Halloween outfit and all that stuff, and I even posted. I think I posted on my page too, that we were in a hotel and all that stuff. I didn't post like her. I didn't post it because respect her privacy, So anyway, so when I had a great time. I had a great time with Lisa and all that stuff, because we went to Vegas, for like a couple of days. It was very fun until this one day when it all breaks down, baby. Because I remember this one particular night. We had a hotel in Vegas, right? So when I what else happened? So when we about to go to sleep, because I have my bed, she has her bed. It's a two separate bed. So she told me that we gotta move, we gotta go back to LA because she gotta go to work, and she said we could leave at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. I was like, okay. I said 6 o'clock, right? 6 o'clock in the morning. And she said, yeah, 6 o'clock. I said, okay, cool. I said, I'm gonna set my timer at 5:30 in the morning so I can get up extra early so I can get dressed and we can just leave at 6 o'clock. So she said, okay. Remember that. Remember that. So the next day, I woke up exactly at 5:30 in the morning. Set the alarm up and everything. The alarm went off and everything. I shut it off. Woke up exactly 5:30 in the morning. So then I got up. I went in the bathroom. I was barely in the bathroom for like 3 minutes. And guess what this bitch did? She gonna sit up here and give me all this type of attitude. Talk about, oh, you need to leave right now. We need to leave right now. I'm like, hold up. I'm like, who do you think you're talking to? I'm like, wait a minute. I thought you said 6 o'clock. We need to leave at 6 o'clock, not 5:35. She like, no, I told you 5:30. I told you 5:30. I'm like, hold up, hold up. I said, you said 6 o'clock, not 5:30. I went off on her ass. So when I said that, oh, she got in her feelings. She being all quiet. She left the fucking hotel room. And I had no choice but to go with her because she has a car. I don't. I don't even have a fucking license. So anyway, I had to follow her ass so I could go to her raggedy ass car. So, and I was in the passenger seat. She's in the driver's seat. She playing her music out loud, pretend nothing happened, just jamming and stuff, just playing her music out loud and stuff, driving and stuff. And I'm in the passenger seat like I was hot, like I was fucking heated. I was just like, I even stared at her for a minute because I'm thinking she gonna apologize. I'm just waiting for her ass to apologize because I was pissed off. So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the point. So when we finally made it back to LA, and she going to shopping. She parked at the shopping center, and she was just trying to put some of my stuff out. And she was like, can you get your stuff out, please? Get your stuff out, please. Because the only thing that I brought with me was like my little Halloween costume, my portable charger, and then like some of my other chargers. and like a couple of my shirts, and the rest of my stuff is in her house. I don't have the keys to her house. She does, you know. So I was just like, so I'm assuming in my head like, okay, she wanted me out. Like she just basically just wanted to kick me out. So I was like, okay, but she still didn't apologize. She didn't apologize. So I was like, okay, I see how this goes. I would never forget that, and I would never forgive her for that. I don't care. I don't fucking care. She was dead ass wrong for the start because she should have just apologized simply. She could have just said, you know what, I apologize. I don't know what was on with her when she just sitting up here having this type of attitude for no reason. She could have just say like, you know what, I was having a rough day. I'm sorry. Like, simple shit like that. But anyway, so when I got some of my stuff out of her raggedy ass car, and like I said, I had to get the rest of my stuff in her house. And I left and I had to like charge my phone because it was about to die. It, and my portable charger is not charging because I forgot to charge it like last night. So anyway, so something tell me like go to somewhere till I could just charge my phone. And before I even took the bus, I was like, let me just text her and let her know. So I text her. I said, you know what? I said, you're wrong for what you did and what you said. You could have just apologized and just leave it at that. You could have just admit you're wrong. You should have just admitted that you're wrong. I was just being nice. I was just being polite. Like I said, I'm just being polite. And what did this bitch say to me in the text? She said, boy, bye. Don't text me back, weirdo. That's exactly what she said. And when she said that, I was really pissed. So the other side of me jumped out. And I texted her back. I said, I'm a weirdo. I said, bitch, you're the one who's fucking wrong from the start. You could have just apologized and leave it at that. What is so fucking hard about that? And when I said that, oh, she got in her feelings. She was just like, oh, bitch, who you calling that bitch? I said, you call me a weirdo. So what's the fucking difference? You the one sit up here, don't want to own up to your bullshit, don't want to own up to your wrongdoings, but yet you want to have this prideful and just being so fucking miserable. Like, it was just sad. So we texting back and forth, we argue. I was really want to call her, but she sit up here don't want to answer it because she fucking scared. So anyway, what else happened? So we argued back and forth in text messages and stuff, and then she even had the nerve to send a voice memo to my phone and saying like, leave me alone, you're a weirdo, this and that, we never friends anyway, we were never friends, we're co-workers. You wasn't saying that shit. You keep on texting me and saying how am I doing, you having a great day and saying all this stuff. So you mean to tell me that's not being a friend? That's not being a friend? Okay. I see the bitch you are. I see the type of bitch you are. And I don't usually call women bitches. I only said that like I just call anybody bitches if they disrespect me any kind of way first, or if they really out of line. I would call out you. I would call you out on that. Like, trust and believe. Like, I don't have time for that shit because what's so fucked up about it, because I opened up to her about my situation, about me losing my mom and living with my uncle at the time. I had to deal with his bullshit, and then I had to deal with the fucking supervisor at the time and dealing with all this type of work, and dealing with work and dealing with my uncle and dealing with, like I said, my mom passing away. It was just a lot. And I'm just like, this is some bullshit. And then, but I'm glad she finally showing her true color, because I'm just like, this bitch is hella fake. Because I'm just like, you are really miserable. Because there are some other times I'll peeping at certain things that she be saying and what she be carrying herself like she better than everybody. Like, bitch, you're not better than everybody. Just because you're wearing wigs and makeup and stuff, don't make you think like you're better than everybody. Without all of that, you're not special. Even with the makeup on, you're still not special. Like, I'm just saying, you're not special. Like, people thinking like, you know what? Like I said, I don't want to get all into that, but it's just really fucks me up because I opened up to you about my situation. I didn't tell her, like I said, I didn't tell her about my sexuality because it's really none of her business. So, but anyway, so like I said, back to what I'm saying though, when we argue back and forth in the text messages, and that's when she get all petty and trying to find my TikTok and trying to screenshot it and send it to me and talk about, see, you're gay, ha ha ha, you're gay, you're a gay boy. And I'm just like, really? I'm like, you need to grow the fuck up. Mind you, she's 3 years older than me. At the time, I was 28 and this bitch was 31. And you mean to tell me you're gonna have that type of mindset to act like that? Grow the fuck up. It was sad. So anyway, so she did all that, just get all being shady as usual and all that shit. So she's sitting up there talking about, oh, you're a gay boy, look at you, ha ha ha, and then gonna call me ugly and call me fat and stuff. I'm like, bitch, you're not Slim Jim your damn self. Like, there are a lot of times you be asking me, talk about, do I look fat? Do I look okay? And like, like the math is not mathing. So anyway, so I was just like, this bitch is really miserable. She's really annoying. So at that moment, I was just like, you know what? I just had to block her. I had to block her number and everything. And then after that, I hung up. I mean, after that, I just stopped talking to her. And then I had to like book a motel. And then I still had to get the rest of my stuff in her house. So I'm trying to figure out what should I do. So I called the police. I was about to go. So once I got my room and stuff in the motel, and I was like, okay, let me just head to the girl's house. And I know at the time she was working, and I was calling the police and stuff and telling them what happened. I explained everything what happened and all that stuff, and they was asking me like, is she's at home right now? I said no, she's at work, and they were saying like, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. This is that. If she's home, just call us back and let us know about it. I'm just like, are they really fucking serious? So anyway, so later on, it was getting a little dark, and what else happened? And good thing I was dressed in all black, because like I said, it was starting to get dark, and then that's when I finally called back, because Lisa finally went back in her place because she's done with her job and all that stuff, and her car was there. So I called the police again, and I was let them know like, yeah, she's here, she's at her house, and then they were saying like, okay, the police are on their way. So I was like, okay, cool. So I waited, you know, and about like a couple minutes later, Lisa walked down the steps. She came out of the door of her raggedy ass apartment. She's walking down the steps, and she about to go to her car. And I shouted, "Hey!" And she was just like looking like she was really shook. And then she go had that stupid look in her face and smile like, "Oh hey, what's up? Oh hey, what's up?" I said, "Where my shit at?" I said, "Where my stuff at?" And then she gonna rush to the door, like to her car. I said, "Where you going?" I followed her. I said, "Where you going?" And then she gonna sit up here. Oh, I was trying to get your stuff in my car. I said, "Is my stuff is in your car?" And she was like, "Oh no, it's in the house, it's in the house. Just wait." I'm like, there she go again, lying. This bitch is lying again. So before she got up there, she gonna like, "Oh, just to let you know, my brother is in the house. My brother's in the house." She's saying that stuff so I can get scared. She's saying all that shit, so she thinking like I'm scared. I said, well, police is on their way. I'm like, you better get my stuff right now. Like, I'm dead serious. So she was like, okay, wait here, wait here. So she got up to the steps and went to her house and got my stuff. And I'm still waiting for the police. I'm still waiting for the police. And like I said, Lisa's over there taking her little sweet time. It doesn't take that long trying to get my stuff out. So anyway, so I waited for a few minutes, and the police finally came. And tell me why there is two female officers. One is like Asian, one is white or Latino. Latina. I'm sorry. So I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" They couldn't have like two male officers. They gonna just have two women. I'm like, okay, I see how this goes. So they still waited. The police officer is still waiting in the car. I was like, oh, of course. So I was like, can you? In my head, I was like, can you just come out, please? Like, it's really an emergency. So I heard the radio, which is like, the police radio and all that stuff going on. So I was just like, okay, what's going on? So I think it was the Asian lady. I think no, the white or Latina lady, the officer, was telling me like, oh, it's something we gotta do real quick. It's really emergency and stuff. And something happened at this street and that street. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is the emergency right here. Like, I'm trying to get my stuff. I'm trying to get the rest of my stuff. And you mean to tell me you trying to go over there and stuff? Like, I was like, and then they just drove off. So I'm like, yep, this is it. This is it right here. So then, by the time they left, a couple of minutes later, Lisa walked down and got all my stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. So I was making sure I got everything. My bag, I got my work badge in there, my keys, like my P.O. box keys, all that stuff is there. So I was like, okay, cool. My CDs, all that. So I was like, okay, cool. And and then I noticed that I got a text message from her because I was planning on trying to. I was like, okay, let me just unblock her just in case she want to start some shit again. So luckily, I unblocked her, like unblock her number, and she was just saying like So she called me and she was like, "This is Lisa." So she was saying like, what she said. She was like, "Oh, you got everything, right? You got everything." I said, "Yeah, I got everything." She was like, "Good, now get out of here." I'm like, "Okay, bitch, bye," and I hung up. So at that moment, I hurried up and tried to call. I called Lyft. So they came on time. They were saying like it was gonna take like 5 minutes, but they came on time. Like they came like 3 minutes. So I was like, shit, okay. So I hurried up and trying to get all my stuff in the car in the Lyft driver's car, and I gave him a tip because he was like taking shortcuts and going freeways and stuff. Like he was a great driver. I had to give him that. So anyway, so so by the time I got to my destination, which is the motel that I already checked in earlier before I went to Lisa's house. So I finally made it back to the motel, and I gave him a tip and all that stuff like in the app, the Lyft app. So and I told him thank you so much for everything. So I appreciate you so much. You're a great driver, and I waved at him. So I waved at him bye. So when I got to my motel room, it was starting to get darker and it started to get later. It was like around like 10:30, almost 11 at night. And mind you, I'm still on vacation. And I have like 2 days left or 3 days left to go back to work. So I try to process everything. I got all my stuff in my motel room. Like I said, it's getting late. And then I was like, let me just clear my head. I'm just gonna play my video game just for a little bit. But then I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna listen to some music. And so when I listened to some music, and it was this one particular song, it really brought me to tears. I broke down, bitch. I broke down. Like I was in tears. I was broke down like crazy. I was almost to the point like, do I even want to be here? Like, do I even want to live? Because I was like so frustrated. I was just so upset and everything. I felt betrayed, all the above. Like, it's just like, does God even hate me? Like, does God ever love me? Like, because the thing about me is that I'm not very religious like my uncle, but I do believe in God, but I'm not like very religious like that. And I'm not like one of those Bible thumpers and knowing every single scripture from front to back, left to right. No, I do believe in God, but I'm not the judgmental ones. Like, I respect people's religion and I do respect their lives and things like that because me personally, I grew up with that. But I feel like people like I just feel like the religion is like very very toxic because the way that people just like treat it like as a weapon and trying to like judge them and stuff, it just doesn't sit right with me. But anyway, when I broke down in tears, I really thought I want to just like end it. Like I would just not, like, I was just not okay, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying to hold it back. Um I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to cry. Whew, I'm trying to get there. So when I was listening to music and stuff, trying to calm me down, but it just brought me to tears, and I was just like fed up, and I'm trying not to cry. I'm trying not to fucking cry. So when I broke down and stuff, I couldn't even sleep that night. I couldn't sleep that night and everything. And it was starting to get later and later. It was like around almost 3 in the morning, and I was just like really fed up, And yeah, it was just a lot for me because, like I said, I dealt with a lot of stuff in my life, you know, dealing with a lot of traumas and a lot of things like being bullied and being portrayed by my so-called friends who I really thought they gonna have my back, like all started from middle school and high school, and then also on top of that, like because of my sexuality, me being bisexual, it's really a lot of pressure. And at that time, like I still feeling shy about my sexuality because I'm not like very open and very like expressive, because when I post on social media, it's different. But when I'm in real life, I just protect myself because I'm really shy, and it's hard to trust people nowadays. Because I have trust issues, and but yeah, like I said, I deal with a lot of traumas and a lot of things like I said, being bullied and dealing with toxic family member and then like I said, my brother, it's just a mess, man. And what's so crazy is that we're like 10 years apart. And I expected him to be a better brother, like when it comes to being responsible and stuff like that. But that's another conversation too. Um, so yeah, it just so what I'm trying to say here is that at that time when I broke down in tears and all that stuff, and I finally went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning, and then that's when it all falls down. And I got this random ass, like, because I was on Instagram, and it was like a message from Lisa, and it was Lisa's Instagram page just saying like, "Oh, leave me alone, you're ugly," saying all that stuff like in the message, like, I mean, not message, but in a comment under my post, my Halloween post. And I was just like, she needs, if anything, she needs to leave me alone because I didn't even bother her in anything because I blocked her and everything. I blocked her page too, and I even blocked her number. So when I did that, that's when I posted a screenshot of her page, and I was posting on my story. I was saying like, "Can y'all do me a favor and block and report this page? Really, just report the page." So when I did that, and then that's when I got another text messages, but it was a different number, and this is supposed to be Lisa's brother. So I'm like, who the fuck is this? Because they're about, oh, take the shit down, bro. Take the shit down, bro. I was like, who is this? And then talk about take my sister. So in my head, I was like, okay, this is supposed to be Lisa's brother. So I was like, well, tell your sister to leave me alone. and then talk about, oh, okay, you know what? We know exactly what bus you take to your job. So I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I'll be real with you. I was hella shit like scared, but I was just like, is this really happening right now? After all this shit that I've been through, and all of a sudden now it's come down to this. So anyway, so I panicked. So I panicked a little bit, and I was like a little bit scared. So I blocked that number too. And at that time, I didn't have this phone. I have the iPhone 8 Plus. So anyway, when I did all that, and then that's when it just got crazy, and then I had to like go to a different motel, this is and that, and it was just hectic. I'm sorry. I can't believe this video is over an hour. I can't believe it. I'm really sorry that I'm talking so much, but I'm trying to get my point across and trying, because I was, like I said, I'm planning on trying to do like a 30-minute video, but it's hopefully y'all can understand. I'm trying my best to say how I really feel about it, and hopefully you guys can understand me. And like I said, I wanted to be a content creator and all that stuff. So um, but yeah, it was just a headache, and so yeah, at that moment, I became homeless. I'm still homeless. It's been almost 2 years now, and I still haven't found an apartment, and I'm still like struggling trying to save money, and I'm trying to hold on to this job and everything. It's hard to do this stuff on your own, and like I said, I'm not trying to go back to my uncle's house because I just know it's gonna be a bunch of shit. It's gonna be just a mess again. It's gonna be a cycle. You know, I don't want, because, like I said, I wanted to just be happy for once. Like, I just want to be happy. I want to be rich. I want to be successful, and I wanted to make my mom proud. But it seemed like I failed. Because I still, like I said, I still haven't got my shit together. I still haven't got my license. I still haven't passed the test. I still have. I just. It's like I'm literally stuck. Like I'm. Even though, like, when I'm on social media, especially like Instagram and Twitter, like when I'm on Instagram, I'd be posting stories and stuff like just to make y'all laugh, and or just to make y'all entertain, because because one thing about me, I just love music, and of course like other stuff too. Like I love video games and I love movies, but lately I've mostly be posting like music, and I love to share like my taste in music, and even though it's mostly R&B. But yeah, it's just, like, all I'm saying is that I'm a good person. And I'm not, and I'll be the first person to tell you that I'm not perfect. Like, I'll admit my wrongs and my fuck ups and stuff. Like I said, I'm definitely not perfect, because there are a lot of times that I still feeling like unhappy about myself, how I look. I've been saying that so many times. Like, even when I post stuff like on my story, how I really feel, like when I venting and things like that, I really don't want to do it too much, because I know how some of my mutuals feel, or how some of my followers feel. Because I wanted to like make friends on social media, because I don't have real friends. I have associates, yeah, but I don't really talk to them a lot. And I know they're busy. And as far as like my other family, I don't really have their phone number and things like that. Like, I blocked my uncle's number, and I blocked Lisa's number, and I blocked Lisa's brother's number, and then it was just a lot. I don't have my brother's number, so it's like I can't keep contact on him. Plus, he always be hanging out with his so-called friends anyway. He barely spends time with me and my mom, so it's like unfortunate. And then I can't even contact with my mom. I mean my dad, because he never been in my life anyway. So it's just like I'm basically just by myself. It is what it is. But like, thank God I have no kids. I have none. So And I'm not saying I'm want to have kids right now. Like that, just no. Fuck them kids. No, I'm just kidding. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not looking for like having a relationship with anybody. I'm just like my goal is like I said, my goal is like I want to be happy, I want to be successful, I want to be rich, I want to be, you know, just live a great life, you know, to like get old and then, you know how that goes. So yeah, but like I said, I'm still homeless and I'm in a motel and it's been like I said, it's been over almost 2 years now, and it's really embarrassing to even say that because I know most people will have their life together and they will have like their own place and everything around my age or even younger, and I know that you can't compare yourself to other people or compare your lives to other people's lives and things like that. I get it, but it's just hard not to think too much into it because it's all over on the internet, even like on TV as well. Because it's like I want to be, I wanted to look like this, I want to look like that, like I want to look good too, because like I said, I've always been a fatty my whole life. Like my cheekbones is big, like you know, like I said, I'm really insecure about myself and even like how I talk as well, like my voice, all that stuff. Like I'm very insecure. My teeth, all that. Like I'm really insecure about how I look, But that's what God made me, I guess. But yeah, it's just a lot. So I'm about to get off here. So I appreciate y'all um for listening. I know it's a long video because, like I said, I wanted to make like a 30 video, but sometimes my mind's like all over the place and stuff, and I'm trying to get my point across and trying to get to that, like the reason why I'm in this situation right now. And I know some of you guys are already knew that, like a few of my mutuals on Instagram and Twitter. But I'm saying like to those who are new to my channel and who are new to here and want to know my life. So this is my story. So yeah, I about to get off here, and before you go, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and also follow all my social media, which is Dev Has Soul. I'll put all the link down below in the description, and so yeah, it's very therapeutic to be honest to even talk about it, but yeah, I'm about to get off here. So you guys have a great day. So love y'all so much. Thank you.